Good morning, everybody. My name is Andy Ramay. I'm an attorney here at the Ramay Law Firm, and today we are going to do a little lesson on wills and why I think a will, although it is a very good tool to use for transferring property upon your death, it could actually be one of the worst wills. And that is because in every will, usually it's the second provision, usually the first provision of a will talks about whether you want to be buried or cremated. But generally the second provision of every will provides that I direct my executor to pay all my debts. And what that means is the second obligation of an executor. The first obligation, obviously, is to accumulate the assets and marshal and protect the assets. But then once the executor gets that, the second obligation they have is to pay debts. So what I like to tell my clients is, let's say, this is you when you are alive, right? And let's say this box down here is, your family. Okay, this is your family. This is you. And then, of course, here somewhere in the middle is when you die. So here's you, here's family. Here is the probate court or your will. We'll say will. We can also call it your estate and the probate court, right? So anytime you transfer property using your will, and it goes from you when you're alive through your will, your estate, your probate court to your family, okay, there's a leak right here. And the leak is debts, right? So here's your debts. So before the property you have can go to the family you want, and it goes through your will, then your debts are going to be paid first. And you may say, well, I don't have any debts. Well, maybe not. But what if you get in the hospital for 6 months before you die? Run up to $300,000 worth of medical bills. Well, guess what's got to be paid before your family gets what they got? Those hospital bills. Maybe you're getting a car wreck before you die. Well, the car wreck can be a creditor or somebody, if it was your fault, and that person that got injured can sue your estate. So again, now we have another avenue to get your property to your family outside your will. And what I call that is non-probate assets, right? And so there's a whole nother way to get property that you own when you're alive to your family or whoever you want it to go to upon your death. And those are called non-probate assets. And a lot of you maybe already know some types of assets that are non-probate, such as life insurance. We all know, for the most part, if you've got life insurance, when you die, all the person that your beneficiary has to do is take a death certificate to that insurance company, and the insurance company pays that life insurance policy to that beneficiary directly. It doesn't go through your will. It doesn't go through your estate. It's not subject to your debts. So a life insurance policy is a good example of a non-probate asset. So you want to make sure that if you want to make sure that what you've got goes to your family, then there are certain, what I call estate planning tools that we use besides a will that allow you to get what you've got to who you want it to go to upon your death. And here at the Ramay Law Firm, listen, we love doing estate planning. I see so many people that come to me maybe after a loved one has passed, and they went to a lawyer that just said, I want a will. And a lot of lawyers will just say, okay, I'll do you a will. And then you're out the door and they charge you, a nominal fee, and you think, ooh, I got a good deal. But in the end, they really messed you up, or maybe your loved one up, because they didn't step back and say, I really want to plan this estate. And, the Ramay Law Firm, when you come to us and say, I need a will, well, of course, we'll do a will. But again, a will is only one of the vehicles that we use in estate planning. So What I generally do is when you come and talk to me in a consultation, and we devise the plan to administer your estate, is I say, okay, let you tell me everything that you've got. Let's go through all your assets, checking accounts, savings accounts, whatever. And then you tell me who you want those assets to go to, right? And then you let me figure out the best way to plan that estate. Sometimes it may be through a will. And then we just have to make protections for debts and those kind of things. But oftentimes it's not a will. Listen, I have a lot of people that I've planned their estates in the past, and when they die, a spouse will come in and say, well, Andy, I need to probate the will. And I say, listen, we had everything planned perfectly. We had everything set up in non-probate assets. So when your husband died or when your wife died, everything went down this track right here. We don't have to go probate your estate, okay? And that's really a great thing when somebody's going through the loss of a loved one and they don't have to worry about the estate process. They don't have to worry about spending extra money on lawyers to probate and dealing with creditors. I get to tell the grieving, surviving spouse, listen, we had everything set up such that the house is in your name, the checking accounts are in your name, the savings accounts in your name, life insurance went to you. All these things, which is exactly the way y'all wanted to go to, we went down this avenue. We had a will, but we don't have to probate your will. Because we might file your will just to show that there's one on record, but as far as going and probating the will and getting you appointed as executor, we don't even have to do that because everything went this way. So listen, if you have an estate or if you're interested about estate work, or maybe even have a family member that you know of, give us a call. We love doing estate planning. Or if you've had a loved one die, we love doing probate work. We've been doing it for many years, and just give us a call. We'd be happy to sit down and talk with you. Our number here, the Ramay Law Firm, is 912-375-4500. We have offices in Hazelhurst. We also have an office in Macon, Georgia, and an office down in St. Simon. So we'll be happy to meet with you wherever you are. Just give us a call, and we look forward to talking to you. Thank y'all.